What's up? I'm Grizz. Welcome episode 9. I don't even remember. Let me check. 9 of Insomniacs. Had a pretty big developmental moment last week, and I'm kind of hoping that we keep pushing that and we don't make things weird between the characters for a few episodes, which I'm really not gonna like if they do, but it was really good what they did, so hopefully they keep it up. I'm hopeful. I feel like I'll hit the like and subscribe to mean a lot to me. Feel free to stick around for discussion. Leave any comments about this episode or series, though. Let's go on episode 9. Who is this? This is Margaret's sister? She said she had one. Hold up. Hold up. This could be big. Oh. I fucks with her, I'm sorry. Listen, something about the dom aspect of her that I'm getting already, I'm here for, I'm sorry. That's what we're trying to do. Well, that's the whole purpose of it. For the trip. That's valid though, but it's gonna be hard. We're gonna beg. We're just gonna beg. I thought we were gonna ask the sister or something and be like, we need money. That's valid. Yeah, and they probably already used the budget for everything. Yeah, you're kind of screwed. Valid. Yeah, we kind of got screwed. We probably could have gotten funding if that event went over well, you know? Here we go. Please. 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 I'm not saying ask him, but please give us more info. Trying to avoid the discussions with him. Understandable, though. I'm assuming some stuff's bad there. We've talked at length about this already, though. Damn. Okay. But that's a lot. I'm sorry, that's a lot for that. Yeah. Or we'll just ask the sister. She definitely got money. I'd give her money. Welcome to the working world, brother. I don't know if I picked up on that right, exactly what the plan here is, but it has something to do with the time that they go visit the grandma. They're gonna do something, I don't know. Alright. What is wrong with the sister? Oh, there's another person in there. Was that Bob? A radio show. Episode 4. 今日から天体望遠鏡を使った観測も始めます。連動しているパソコンのソフトに見たい星を入力すると自動で望遠鏡が動きます。今日は望遠鏡で月を見てみようと思います。Fancy。こういう機械をいじるの。やってみたら俺、結構好きみたいでさ。Cool。眠れないのはいつもと変わんないんだけど、最近はカメラのこと。Finally found some stuff that he likes and can keep him, yeah, cool. You got this. It's me when I go into every interview I've ever done, yeah. He's in my head. Bro, how did you manage in that position? Just get out there. Get back on your feet and try again. There we go. We could do this. Maybe you can work here. Hey. It's a mess in here. Hey, you creep. I just passed out. Yeah. No. Wake up. Yeah, you hold it down. There we go. This is your job now. Perfect. I wouldn't do it unless I was agreed to be paid. That's all I'm saying. She's gonna be like, wow, it's never been so nice in here. You did this all for free? Wow. You love child labor. No money, but you get milk.
のイベントが控えててね。その準備が夜通しでてんやわんや。
Cool.
まあ準備含めてのお祭りだからね。どんなイベントなんですか?
I'm curious as
楽しい
well.
よ。ゲーム好きないい大人が似たようなのと集まって夜更かしでゲームすんの。
Okay. That sounds normal to me.
ああ、合宿行くんだっけ? こっそりイチャイチャしに。
Yeah, yeah. No, that was your admiration is going to get her. Nah, bro, that's good.
なんで? ガンタンチって金持ちじゃないの?
Are they?
あんな高価なカメラ、ポーンと買い与え。
Yeah, okay. I never even thought about any of that.
小学生の時、
Oh, here we go. Come on.
に携帯ゲーム機をねだったんです。でもゲーム欲しいだと断られると思って、そのゲーム機のカメラ機能でカメラごっこがしたいって。そしたらあのカメラをプレゼントされたんです。
But I never actually had any interest in that.
親がいなくなったのを申し訳なく思ってて、その反動で過剰に対応してしまうのだと。だから父親にはお金の相談したくないんです。
Well, it has to be a thing that happened between the mom and dad. It can't just be like a she passed away thing, because that would make no sense that he would feel guilt for that over something like this happening, and then he would try and compensate for not gonna be like missing out on these things by giving him and going to the extreme by like gifting him these sort of things and financially trying to bribe him in a way. Like that wouldn't make much sense. So the only way that I think that really makes sense is if something happened just between the two, they split for whatever reason, and now he's holding the guilt of taking this away from him, and he's trying to buy him back almost, or maybe not buy him back, but do everything that he can in a way, and it makes Nakami kind of not want to be around somebody who's kind of like trying to do something like that. I don't know. It's a weird, really weird situation, I think, to think about without knowing like the complete details, but especially why he's so resentful, it seems like, of his dad in a way, just because we never see them interact in any sort of way. I understand completely. Maybe you just don't want to financially burden them or take things from them or use them, right? But the way that we literally don't see them interact in the slightest either, there has to be something a little more, I would feel, than that. Homework for me. Yeah. Bro. You idiot. Ah. Gives her plenty of time to sleep. Perfect. Girls trip. Okay. The mandatory beach episode. Here we go. Aww. The scars. Is that from the surgeries that she probably had to have? She puts the t-shirt on to cover it up. We can save that for a big moment that she's with Nakami in some sort of way, can reveal it because she's comfortable in who she is, right? Something like that, right? Right? You're no fun, dude. You're no fun. You gotta get her involved. Nobody was gonna hit on you anyways. You're gonna... Damn, bro. Oh, that looked unsettling. You fall asleep. Oh. You do not work very hard. She's so jealous, dude.
偶然猫が見つめるその場所はおばあさんが亡くなったアパートの前だったの。ビーチで階段すなー、筋トレすなー、落書きすなー。もうやだ、思ってたのと違う。
Yeah, they're so immature, but you're the one on the ground there in a tantrum now, aren't you? Oh, what a guy.
ちょっと男気が壊れるからこっち来ないでよ。
Yeah, that's valid.
まあまあ、はい。
かき氷頼んでないけど。
Oh,
お客
mouse.
様からです。
Who is it? The boys?
商品だって一から揃えるんでしょ。
Looks like you need somebody to go with you.
やっぱ部費が出なかったのは痛いな。
必要になりそうなもの書き出すから休憩時間にでも予算出し直してみたら。
I mean, I'm not trying to be that guy, but clearly Yui does this often. Couldn't we just borrow some stuff? I'm just saying. I mean, the money's still one thing, but...
撮影スポット減らすしかないか。
Hey!
なんでマガリがここにいるの？
みんなと遊びに行った帰りにちょっとよ。
We just skipped. What happened, though? Who are those people? I thought it might have been him showing up.
海
Oh, okay. Now we're gonna get into it.
初めて
She's gonna use this to see his reaction. Oh, there we go.
された。
Huh? This is your chance, dude.
え？
Why you look so happy, huh? Being panicked.
小学生？
どれだけ
Ah.
子供っぽく見えたのかな。
なんだ、そう。
Wow.
合宿の計画立ててたの？
Love him.
私のおばあちゃんの家がまさに能登の真ん中でね。パパとママに聞いたら、おばあちゃんホーム入って空いてるし、合宿だから特別に使っていいって。
Ooh.
夏の間中ずーっ
And can we get the sister to drive us up there?
と食べたら節約できるね。
Because we'll have a place and we don't have to buy equipment and do all this other stuff. This works perfect. And this is the setup that we needed to move towards the confession. This is perfect. Everything's lining up exactly how I expected. Yay. No, interlock the fingers. You're getting there. And then Yui walks in and interrupts it. There's a classic formula for this.
写真みたいな。自分も
I will.
すごい写真が撮りたいんだ。
そこ
You're
が
gonna one up it.
私たちの旅のゴールなんだね。
あ、
Go out with a bang, boys. Cool. I thought that was it. Okay.
あ、ちょっとおねえ、麦茶ちょい残ししてる。何が？飲み切った人が新しいの入れるルール。
I'm busy.
あ
That's why she left a little bit so that you could. The worst.
あんた合宿行くんだって？うん。私もついていくことになったから。
How else are you gonna get there? Awesome. It's a damper on her one-on-one time, dude. Unreal. This episode takes a more laid-back and lighthearted approach as we just kind of experience youth of summer things such as finding jobs, needing money for things, having fun with friends, going on trips, going to the beach, just a mixture of things, right? And they all had their charm and did certain things better than others. It just worked, right? But at the same time, I felt like they did a good enough job of feeding us a few things, of using this to develop the story a little bit more, using this to develop where we're going to be headed and how we're going to wrap things up likely, where we are at, I guess, mentally a little bit with the characters by teasing each other in certain ways or how they're feeling, such as Nakami and his family and his situation there. A whole bunch of other stuff that goes on, right? It seems rather likely we are using the trip here that we're using because we need funding for this club that we have here, and we need it for other things, you know, in the future to become established, officially recognized as one. And in order for that to happen, we're going to use this competition, enter or in our photo, and just try and win it at least, but also just try and get some sort of recognition and use that towards solidifying who we are and that we're actually legit and trying to do everything that we need to in the process, need funding and everything to take on this trip to get to this location and experience all the stuff. But the school unable to give things out, which makes sense, especially at the time of year it is in the late forming of the club. I completely understand that they wouldn't be able to do anything. So everybody has to kind of come up with the money and do things on their own. I really liked how we went through the process, not going to be trying to get a job, failing, all of that, goes to Yui, finds the job, simply just makes it all work. I would have went to Yui right away. Honestly, she easily would have just gave us the job. But I guess you don't want to ask for things of people around you, which is something that we see regarding his dad and stuff later on. We'll talk about that later. I already have kind of talked about it, but we'll go into it again later. I think it's good for the setup. We talked about early in the episode, specifically the thing involving where the grandma lives and stuff. Later on, when trying to budget and figure out how we're going to make this trip work, we end up finding that Magari talks to her family and decides that she can get permission to go stay here for however long they need for this trip to kind of work. Allows them to cut down on not needing to take a train or like constantly take trains and stuff and go places to places. They can kind of just start in one location, be in a center of where everything else is going to be. Cut down on having to buy food or like go places to get things, as they can just kind of buy food from a grocery store and then be able to go back to this place that they have, this house, and actually have like a kitchen and be able to cook and properly do things and be able to cut down on spending regarding that. So everything works out really perfect. And it was really great that she was able to include her family and get that. We got the introduction of her sister this episode, and we were able to use her as a perfect opportunity to throw in some fun here. She seems the complete opposite of who Magari is. Magari's that energetic, that wanting to go outside, do things, like experience new things, all these things that she probably missed out on, you know, because of her issues that she had as she was a child and the things regarding her heart and everything. So her sister's like the complete opposite of her. They're just lazing around all day doing absolutely nothing. It's very similar to Yui in a way, but it works perfectly that she's just the way that she is. We find out at the end that her sister's actually going to come along with us on the trip, which is perfect, because why wouldn't we get somebody else involved that can slow down the development between our characters, right? Of course. But I think it'll work out, and I think her sister will kind of stay out of the way and just kind of do the things that she wants. So I don't think it's that big a deal. Plus, likely was going to be the one who drove us up there anyway, so it probably makes a lot of sense. I kind of hope she doesn't constantly get in our way though and cause things, you know, to not happen. As I talked about before, I don't like the fact that we're going to keep avoiding possible development and other things that can occur here just by them being stupid and going about things this way. So hopefully all of that can get avoided and whatever happens here. But I think this builds excellent towards our goal. In a lot of shows you see usually towards the back end, they start introducing something, exactly what we're going to do to end off the season. It's usually a couple episode build up, and especially in something regarding romance is usually so that you can build towards a confession. It's usually a school festival or fireworks or some sort of school trip or something. This situation kind of was a trip like that, but it's just a trip between our two. So it works perfect because it builds towards something that can happen there and ultimately allows to climax at this point. How everything occurs, we don't know, but I'm assuming that's likely the reason why we're going to be here, and some stuff's going to go down that's going to be excellent here for us to finally achieve this and reach this moment that we've been waiting on. The other thing I really wanted to touch on, I talked about it during the episode, the Nakami family situation thing, I don't fully still understand. I've been wanting to get it. I tried picking everything up that I could last week to fully get it. I still don't fully understand. He didn't want to take money from his dad, which is admirable, and I understand why you wouldn't want to, but specifically talks about how him and his dad don't seem to be on the greatest level of communication in some sort of way, or terms maybe, or whatever's going on between them. Specifically thinks his dad has been down and kind of depressed for a while now, specifically because their mom's gone. Not stating whether she just left him or whether she passed or something happened. I'm assuming she just left him, or they got into some sort of altercation. Something occurred, right, that ended up them splitting. And he blames himself for that. He blames himself for taking her away. He blames like all that kind of stuff. Also talk about how Nakami wanted a game console or some point, and he used an excuse for it, stating that he wanted it for the camera. So his dad thought he was taking an interest in photography and stuff. So he literally bought him a camera, going to the ultra, like the extreme there. And then he uses that as like his reason for staying, that they don't get along, or there's that rift between them for whatever whatever reason, because that guilt that he has, and he's trying to like maybe buy him in some sort of way, or he's trying to give him the things that he feels he might have missed out on, or give him like, that's why he's going above and beyond. I don't know. I might be understanding that entirely wrong. Maybe it's not as deep as I'm thinking, and he just doesn't want to burden him in any sort of way and take things from him to make him feel like he really owes him anything. Maybe it's as simple as that. He feels guilty about what happened, but he doesn't, Nakami himself doesn't want him to feel guilty, so he's trying to avoid taking these things or asking him for things and stuff, so he could specifically not feel that way, but without having the proper conversation and stuff that we're having. Like they don't talk from every time that we've seen. There's always just food wrapped up on the table. One of them's laying on the bed, one of them's just laying on the couch. Nakami seemed to be like having these visions almost when his dad came home by just opening the door, thinking, oh, this possibly could have been like thoughts of like his mom returning, but it was probably just his dad type of thing. Like what, I don't know. It feels like there's a lot more there that they're not really delving into, because that situation just doesn't make enough sense to me. And maybe I have to go back and I'll see it when I'm editing. Maybe I have to rewatch that scene and reread everything that he said, but it doesn't sit right with me. So who knows? We'll have to continue with that. Everything else kind of went pretty well. Yui is a complete mess and always sleeping and just lays an arm around and doing her thing, but made for some really enjoyable moments throughout it. That could be Sprager with the hose, or her just laying in the pool, the kiddie pool that she has. I don't know. It all worked out really well. Made some funny moments. Us going to the beach, all of us hanging out was really fun. One friend, don't know her name, wanting to take things a little bit more serious and act more mature. While the others just kind of enjoying themselves and having fun. And that ends up being the one throwing a tantrum by the end of it because she's complaining so much about it. Really fun scene there. Specifically seeing Maguri try to change and then decide, or noticing that she has these scars on her. Specifically, I'm assuming these are results of the surgeries that she probably had to have for her heart, and as a way of hiding these scars in a way, she wears a shirt to cover it up, probably because she's not comfortable enough to show them off, or she doesn't want to have other people look at her or treat her different for any sort of reason, or ask questions or anything. She just wants to avoid that in general and kind of cover and hide this part of her. Maybe she's never really told any of her friends, or maybe people don't know about it and she doesn't want to have to explain this or get sad or just whatever, right? So I can completely understand her reasoning for doing it, but I think it can also open up avenues of allowing us to see her remove that extra wall of protection, that extra layer, such as that shirt, in a situation when she's with Nakami at some point, whether it be them at the beach or them doing something, right? Allow her to show that she's more comfortable or more open to somebody like him seeing that, and as opposed to maybe other people, just because of his comfort in the way that she feels around him, right? I think it could really open an avenue of something like that, making it more interesting. So I'd be excited to see if we end up eventually heading down that route at some other point. But yeah, I think we're just going to continue setting this up, probably another episode or two of the actual trip and everything that we do. And then I'm assuming, I've actually been saying this whole time, we're going to use that as our climax moment, but I really don't see that lasting for the rest of the season. So unless we don't do the confession stuff at the end and we do it in the next 2 episodes and then we have some other stuff, but that probably isn't likely either. So maybe nothing actually happens here and there's another event. I'll make a prediction, actually. Let me make a prediction. Everything's going to go well throughout the trip. We're going to get our pictures. We're going to do everything. Nakami's going to be happy with it. They're all going to be good. He's going to not win an award or a prize at the thing. And then he is going to lose his mind, and then Maguri's going to have to be there one to kind of comfort him there, and then we're going to have that climax moment as a result of that. I think that would make plenty sense. Or he's going to get back and realize that the pictures are a lot worse than he thought, and then some shit's going to go down with the club, and he's going to try and like distance himself because he's going to feel like he let her down by them losing the club or something, or possibly like risking these opportunities, and she's going to have to be there one there for him. I think that those are most likely, like we saw last time, with her kind of being the one to comfort him in a way. I think it's going to probably result itself in a similar situation like that. I would love nothing more for it to be a perfect situation. They win something and then they celebrate and confess and do all that. Like, I would love that, but it doesn't seem as likely to me. I feel like we have to make it more dramatic than just wholesome. So who knows? We'll see the route that they go, but those would be my predictions, and we'll just see how good or bad that they end up holding up. That's going to be all from me, though. Thank you very much if you did watch all the way to this point. Leave any comments about this episode or this series, as well as like and subscribe. They do really mean a lot to me. Feel free to check out the other videos on the channel. I will be back for episode 10 next week. Damn, we're only on episode 9. What? I'll be back for episode 10 next week. You guys have a good one, though. See you.